This was a moment when Prince Rama's life was about to change forever. A young prince who has never fought a real battle was now about to face a terrifying demon that even greater warriors feared. But before the battle, sage Vishwamitra had to prepare Rama with powerful divine knowledge. What were the secret mantras that could make Rama unstoppable? And why did Vishwamitra choose Rama for this dangerous mission? Let us continue the story of Ramayana. In previous episode, we saw how Prince Rama and Lakshmana left the comforts of Ayodhya to accompany sage Vishwamitra on a sacred mission. But this journey was not just going to be peaceful. Ahead of them lay a dark forest, ruled by a terrific demoness whose strength equals 1,000 elephants. This was a moment when Rama would face his first battle. Guided by sage Vishwamitra, Rama and Lakshmana left behind the comforts of Ayodhya and entered the wild forest. After traveling about 1.5 yojana, they reached the peaceful banks of sacred Sarayu river. There, Vishwamitra called Rama closer and said, "Rama, I will now teach you two powerful mantras, Bala and Atibala. These sacred mantras will remove fatigue and hunger. No demon will be able to overpower you, even if you are asleep or unaware. Once these mantras are mastered, none in the three worlds will be equal to you." Because Rama was the most deserving discipline, Vishwamitra bestowed these divine techniques upon Rama and Lakshmana. After receiving these mantras, Rama's face shone with divine radiance and joy. That night, the princes rest on a simple bed of grass. At dawn, sage Vishwamitra woke them up with a sacred chant that is still recited every morning even today. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta Narasadhula Kartavyam Daivamanikam. Meaning, O Rama, noble son of Kausalya, the sun has risen. Arise, O tiger young man. It is time to perform your sacred duties. Listening to the sage's word, Rama and Lakshmana woke up immediately. They bathed, offered water to the rising sun, meditated upon the Gayatri mantra and performed their Sandhya Vandana. With great enthusiasm, they presented themselves before sage Vishwamitra, ready to continue their journey. After traveling further, they reached a beautiful hermitage where great sage has been performing penance for thousands of years. The princes were warmly welcomed and stayed there for the night. The next day, they resumed their journey. Soon, they entered a deep and frightening forest. The land looked destroyed and miserable. Seeing this, Rama asked Vishwamitra, "Revered sage, what is this place? Why is this once beautiful forest in such a terrible condition?" Vishwamitra replied, "Rama, listen carefully. Long ago, this land was prosperous and full of life until a Yaksha woman entered this region. Her name is Tataka. She possessed the strength of 1,000 elephants. She was a daughter of Yaksha named Suketu. Suketu has performed intense penance to Lord Brahma for a child. Pleased by his devotion, Brahma blessed him with a daughter, Tataka, and granted her immense strength. When Tataka grew up, she was married to Sunda, the son of demon Jamba. Later, they had a son named Maricha, but fate soon turned dark. Sunda was killed by the great sage Agastya. Blinded by the anger and revenge, Tataka attacked sage Agastya along with her son Maricha. The sage cursed Maricha, saying he would become a demon. He also cursed Tataka, declaring, "You shall become a man-eater demoness, and your beauty will turn into a monstrous form." From that day onwards, Tataka began destroying the entire forest. After hearing the story, Rama has a question. "Revered sage, Tataka is a woman. Killing a woman is considered a great sin. Shall I really fight her?" Vishwamitra calmly replied, "When someone becomes a destroyer of people and righteousness, they must be stopped. Even great gods like Indra and Vishnu have destroyed evil female demons for the welfare of the world. As a protector of Dharma, it is your duty to eliminate this evil." Hearing the sage's word, Rama tightened his grip on his bow. He pulled the bowstring with such a force that its thunderous sound echoed across the entire forest. Hearing this, the demon Tataka rushed towards them. Seeing her terrifying form, Rama said to Lakshmana, "Look at this monstrous creature. Her cruelty has destroyed this forest." At first, Rama decided not to kill her immediately. Instead, he shot arrows to weaken her and stop her movements. Enraged, Tataka created a storm of dust and stones using her magical powers. Rama responded with a storm of arrows, cutting off both her arms. In fury, Tataka rushed forward again. Lakshmana quickly cut off her ears and nose. Using her illusionary powers, Tataka disappeared and continued attacking from hidden directions. At this moment, Vishwamitra shouted, "Rama, enough compassion. She's a great sinner. Destroy her before she harms others." Following the sage's command, Rama focused his divine archery skills. Listening carefully to the direction of her movements, Rama released a powerful arrow. The arrow struck Tataka directly in the chest. With a loud cry, the demoness collapsed to the ground. The terrible demoness Tataka was finally slain. With Tataka's death, the cursed forest slowly regained its beauty. Pleased by Rama's courage and righteousness, sage Vishwamitra rewarded him with many divine weapons and celestial astras blessed by the gods themselves. Rama also received powerful counter weapons known as Upasamhara Astras, capable of neutralizing enemy weapons. Thus begins Rama's journey not just as a prince, but as a destroyer of evil and protector of Dharma. But Rama's mission has only just begun. In the next episode, Rama will face two powerful demons, Maricha and Subahu, who are determined to destroy Vishwamitra's sacred ritual. And this journey will eventually lead Rama towards Mithila, where destiny awaits him in the form of Sita Swayamvar. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and continue this divine journey of Ramayan with us. Jai Shri Ram.